Legends of the Dead is shaping up to be one of the better DLCs to date for Crusader Kings III, and for good reason. The Legends mechanic, though perhaps a bit underwhelming, is pretty dang cool, and it opens up the game for a lot of future content involving the system, as well as modding, of course. But the coolest part, at least in my eyes, is the epidemic system, including specifically the big daddy of them all, the Black Death, which killed as many as 30 to 50% of the entire population of Europe. So naturally, when I saw the system and how it was implemented, within 30 minutes I had it modded and ready to crank the intensity up to 11 and spawn it in 867, which is what we're going to be watching today. I had some help from the wonderful and talented Uberzak, and I definitely recommend you check out his Steam Workshop page. He's got plenty of really cool Crusader Kings III mods, and if you are interested, you should check him out. Link is in the description. This video should also be quite a lot of fun, so make sure you like it, and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. There's a lot more to come. Well, here we are, and the darkening horizon here in Jarl Hastings lands, it's gonna spread pretty quick, so we're just gonna have to unpause. And fun fact, it actually spreads so fast that at speed 5 it crashes my computer, and I don't know if it's because of the engine or because my computer is just too fast, because I have like a really beefy computer, but it will spread very quick and it will kill a lot of people. And mostly I just want to see kind of what happens with it, because this is a really interesting mechanic, and breaking the game is just fun for content, I think. So just on speed 3, we're going to unpause here and see exactly how fast things go. And yep, you can see it's spreading very quick. Nobody's died yet, but that's going to change here in just a moment. I'm very sure of that. Our first death is here, and the Black Death controls almost all of France, lots of the British Isles, all the way over into Denmark and to the southern tip of the Algarve. So yeah, it's gonna spread very quickly, and also it looks really good on this map mod. This is that I Miss Imperator 2.0, I think is what it is. But yeah, take a look at this. Oh my gosh, it's getting so bad. Oh, this map mode is so sick. It's gross looking. It's so gross. The Black Death is just like controlling all of it. Oh, Hastings' wife died of the Bubonic Plague about a month ago. Now Hastings got it, and he's infirm, and he's got the plague, of course, so he's probably gonna die. And an interesting factoid about Hastings that many of you may not know, he has an innate, like hard-coded health bonus. He actually lives to be longer, like 90, oftentimes in a lot of people's games, and it is because he is hard-coded to live longer. It's kind of cool. I think he's actually the only character in the game that has that little script. And we've hit the 1,000 mark here in the 1st of April, and no signs of slowing down, though Hastings, no signs of slowing down either. Everyone around him is dead, but Hastings is forever. And rather than die, I guess he just decided to go do some raiding against Leon, because they're not doing so well because of, you know, the Black Death. And boy, is it spreading. 29th of April, we've got 4,000 dead so far, and it's just still pushing. Like I said, it's going to expand very quickly. There isn't going to be any Poland surviving, Milan surviving, the Pyrenees surviving. Everybody is going to catch these hands. And believe it or not, Hastings actually survived the Bubonic Plague, and he is infirm, but he's in good health, apparently. So shout out Hastings. Love to see it, folks. Yeah, the Byzantines aren't looking so good either. They've basically all died. Yeah, the new Vasilius, or however you would pronounce that, is doing fine. He's here. Everyone else has gotten the Black Death, so probably gonna happen to him, but at least he's doing good for now. The fact that I spawned it so early means that nobody had any time to build up defenses, so they are all gonna just get ravaged by it with almost 10,000 deaths in 6 months. That's insane. And keep in mind, when I say 9,200 deaths, that means characters, like people who you can click on and look at their name, have died, not like some abstract population number. Real characters that you can interact with in this game. Things are definitely going on in Charlemagne's empire over here. The king of Italy had died. It was inherited by West Francia, as was Lotharingia, I believe. And then the king of France died, and now it's Aquitaine, Duke Werner of Spoleto here. But he's not doing so good either. 1,200 deaths here in the 1st of July. We are making our way over into India and to the steppes. Iran has evaded it so far, but I'm sure it's not going to last forever. Shout out Herjolf or whatever over here. The Duke of Jorvik with Sweden over here, 33 domains. So yeah, he's doing okay, but you know, he's also got a little bit of the plague. And it doesn't look like the court of Al-Andalus is doing so hot either. Half the people who are in the line of succession got the plague, though it does look like the Sultan is doing fine for now. And I said the Byzantines were doing okay, but that is not true. He also has the plague, as does his wife. Similar story over here for the Abbasids. You can see they're not doing so hot either. Lots of plague going on. And even places that historically were not super ravaged by the plague, most likely due to just like lack of population, or they're not doing so good either. They've all got the plague. And as we eclipse 16,000 deaths, we're finally reaching around to the other side of India, and it is marching through the steppes ominously. Germany is formed, which is pretty cool. And whatever this is, Kunzakal, which I think is just the Bulgars, you know, name over here. So there you go. Because of all the deaths going on up in the north, we've got Jorvik over here and here and here, and also down here in the Danes. So King Carl, or Jarl Carl, that's a good name. I like that. Jarl Carl of Jorvik. It's a nice Viking name, I think. Savoy is popped out of Aquitaine, he's still going good. King Garcia he's inaptic, but you know, he's doing good. 22,000 deaths now. And we have finally reached Burma, and it will soon start petering out. Soon, I think. I don't actually know 100%, even though I did tweak the numbers. Yeah, they just cannot catch a break over here. Aquitaine has become Francia because he united the empires. He's still doing good. He doesn't have an heir, at least not really. Looks like it's one of his vassals, who's also his regent. And then Savoy and Sens have popped out of them. So we'll see how much they survive for. Surprisingly, borders are very stable from what I kind of expected it to be, but obviously the dynasties are changing quite a bit over here in those lands that show the dynasty for their name. They are not doing well. There's lots of new dynasties popping up here and there. And here we have the Black Death finishing up over here surrounding Lake Baikal. 36,000, check that, 37,000 fatalities. And it hasn't even started dissipating. So safe to say it's going to ravage the lands here for at least a few months. It's been 2 years, I believe. And it's still going. 41,000 and the line go up. And let's see, can we finish it? Can we make it all the way around? We've got just a couple more and come on now. Yeah. The whole world is infected with the Black Death. 100% of the entire map. Very good, or very bad if you live here, but you know, this is all for funsies. Byzantine's not doing so good. He's depressed and disfigured, but at least he doesn't have the plague like his wife or his heir. Germany disfigured and scarred, but no plague, and no plague for the heirs. So it does look like maybe they've developed a little bit of immunity over here, which is good for them. And it does look like Francia is actually going to be able to weather the storm. If he can have a child or two, that would be good. And as we eclipse 65,000 dead, still no signs of it slowing down. I believe I have it set to slow down between 4 and 5 years, I think. We'll find out. Longer is better. It adds more chaos for the aftermath. Because you best believe we're going to keep on going. We're going to see how things look probably about 100 years after this. I think that's a good kind of baseline to see how they rebuild. There's the 80,000 mark. Finally going to hit that beautiful 100,000 casualties. And then with another 10% increase, we're going to go up to 110. And things are still remarkably stable. We've got the Umayyads over here. So I don't think that they're related because they have a different dynasty over here as well in Al-Andalus. So yeah, safe to say we're going to see some shakeups. A lot of these dynasties are going to be very, very different. 130,000 fatalities of playable characters that you can literally click on and talk to. Pretty nuts. I'm curious what you guys think is going to be the final tally. Leave a comment down below. So it looks like Hastine died in his sleep a few years ago and I missed it. And then basically everybody died within a couple of days of each other. And within a few months, now we've got finally Thorun over here. Doing fine, I guess. She's healthy, at least, so she's got that going for her. Novice physician, so maybe she can fight it back. Who knows? Regardless, we're over 187,000. Probably going to close in on 200 soon, if I had to guess. 210. No signs of slowing down. I figured we'd probably be slowing down by now, but it's going to keep going, I suppose. And things are continuing to go, and the borders are not really changing a whole lot. I figured like the weird succession crises would be happening, but it doesn't really look like it, to be honest with you. Maybe a couple of border changes here and there. Nobody can really declare a whole lot of war because they don't really have large armies. None of them do. This does affect your army size quite heavily. 76 for the Byzantines. So there you go. At least they have their 10 hetarii, or however that's pronounced. So there you go. 250, a quarter of a million playable characters kaput because of the Black Death. But it does look like it is basically done. You're not really seeing a whole lot of leaders dying, just commoners, I think, courtiers and vassals and whatnot. But it looks like for the most part things have stabilized. We have the Umayyads back in charge over here. Not to be confused, they are different. It is spelled different, I suppose. Lots of people are disfigured from surviving the plague, but that's about it. Most everybody is alive and thriving, not really sick anymore. So that's pretty good, except in India. There does seem to be a bit of plague going on over in India still. But yeah, enjoy trying to play your game like this. You're gonna have to disable that because you cannot see literally anything except for that. So it's all just this horrible coagulated congealed looking blood. So rip everyone in here, I suppose. With the Black Death causing 350,000 casualties, and now we've got some boils popping up over here in this province, though I don't think that's the least of their worries. I strongly doubt it matters. Oh, there's hints of it popping away. It's going away and then getting reinfected, so we might see it waning here shortly. Does look like it's probably gonna start going away. Good for the people in the provinces because their levies are absolutely negative. Like, they are losing so much money, I am sure of it. My girl here has absolutely horrible prestige, horrible piety, but I think that's just because she's a fornicator and losing money as the largest empire probably in the planet. Losing money over here. I think you guys are starting to see a trend. Nobody is making money because all of their land is completely, absolutely garbage, useless land. Take a look at that. Oh my gosh, apocalyptic, all of this stuff going on. Control is actually negative, development is 0, and people are pretty upset with them as well. If you couldn't guess, development is affected by this, and every province in the world has 0 development, every single one of them, which is certainly going to affect things moving forward as things start to slow down here for the Black Death. We've hit 400,000. Where is it going to end? Let's find out. Oh, finally free. Some of them, at least, like a quarter of them, and it's going to keep going. They're finally going to get rid of it. Some provinces are getting reinfected, which is like insult to injury for sure. But yeah, 12 years later, and the Black Death is starting to dissipate here, though it's looking to be well over 450,000 dead, though it will slow down clearly here as we finish it out. And yeah, it looks like they're gonna get 450,000 fatalities specifically from the Black Death, which is that's pretty insane. And even though it's gone, there's still a bunch of provinces that have it and it's not going away. I don't really know, but development is starting to go up in some of these cities, so that's pretty good. You're gonna see a little bit of a build up there, and now it's not a flat 0 across the board anymore. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with this. It's still killing a bunch of people. It's probably a bug, but you know, we're gonna go with it. We now have Empress Regalinda the Great of the Holy Roman Empire, because that has formed with, you know, no Germany in it. Al-Andalus has collapsed. I think they did last time we looked, but now they're looking way worse, and Iberia is a Thunderdome. Bulgaria has fallen apart with Pannonia and Wallachia popping out of that, as well as Dobruja and Raskia. So they're pretty weak. They no longer have all of this land over here, and it does look like this this horde over here has absolutely just collapsed. India is usually fairly blobby, and doesn't look so good over here either, infirm, but probably quite a bit of Black Death in their families. Yep, just a little bit. A couple of men died. Yeah, just assume that this isn't going to stop. Number's still going up, but we're going to go with 450. 450 is the final number that I will go with, because all of these provinces are just staying infected, and I don't really know why. Looks like some of them are actually now uninfecting. These are the provinces that were infected and then lost their infection and then got reinfected. This game is really weird, man. So we had a second wave, apparently, after the first wave, if you can believe that. It's finally is actually petering out now. The second wave didn't kill nearly as many men, you know, only like 25,000 of them. So there you go. 474, I believe is what it said. Pretty gnarly numbers. Economically, we are seeing a little bit of growth finally coming back, mostly over here in the kind of the places you would expect. So that's pretty good. Development is still very much in shambles, though apparently like Nubia over here is doing good. Parts of India up to 8 already in certain parts, 9. So they're doing good. A couple of random provinces over here on Britain are at 8 or 9, which is good on them. Moscow, random province over here in the steppes. So yeah, things are going good. We have Italia, which is popped out over here. It is its own empire, so that's pretty cool. Germany is even smaller than it was before, and Bavaria is here now as well, with Bitild of Bavaria, 13 years old, very nice. And Al-Andalus has completely crumbled and is basically gone, if not entirely. They're kaput. A couple of the larger nations over here in Northern Africa are gone. I think Tunis was fairly large before, but they're gone as well. And I'm not sure if the Byzantines had this before. I think they might have, but if they didn't, they are now into southern Italy and Sicily. Denmark has formed. It was Jorvik before, so that makes sense. They like to kind of upgrade their title if they can. Wallachia grows, looking to unite the Romanians, if I had to guess. We do have a large Kyrgyz Khanate here coming out of Mongolia, so we're gonna have to keep our eyes on them. And I lied, Denmark is already broken up. Looks like their leader died. He flagellated himself to death. Very good, well done. We don't have the Habsburgs, but we do have the Vexin Amiens, so they've got at least that going for them. And we've got a united Poland over here, so Wetysław, or however you would say that. Very cool. Belorussia and a Ruthenia. Very cool to see these formable tags. And Wallachia down here is actually just conquering everything. They've got the Lover's Pox, a deviant, adulterer, rockish leader. Just look at this lad, and he's going for it. He doesn't even care. Oh, here we go. We've got the Holy Roman Empire, the dynasty of Neuchâtel, which I believe is like Switzerland or something like that. Either way, it's a good cheese. It's a nice kind of alternative to cream cheese if you're looking for a low-fat alternative. Though I do feel kind of bad. I feel like every time I look over at Germany, they're just a little bit smaller than they were before. They also have a King Adolf, so, you know, that's a thing. And the Abbasids are just very slowly crumbling away. Shell of what they once were. Used to be like all this. I believe they may even have Egypt here in the beginning, but I could be wrong with that. Either way, they've lost quite a bit of land. Also, shout out Najd, the House Saud over there. Ooh, the HRE is actually over into Croatia and Jutland. So Hildebert over here is making it happen as well. And Poland's strong, but maybe not quite as strong as Estonia, though militarily very strong compared to Estonia, but still very cool to see these nations kind of pop out of the ashes that is, you know, their former region. I think we're about 40 years after the Black Death has gone away, so things are looking better considering the fact that it's only been that short period of time. Development is still pretty low, but it's like basically a base of 2 rather than a base of 0 anymore, so improvement is still improvement nonetheless. Yeah, they're definitely rebuilding. 9,000 troops, looking real good. Byzantines at 9,000 as well. Poland, almost 6,500. Wallachia with over 7,000 troops. These guys are going crazy over here. And speaking of going crazy, how about Navarra over here? Actually insanity. They got this Mozarabigs or whatever religion, which is cool. It's like a cross between a Sunni Christian sort of amalgamation. I don't actually know a whole lot about it, but either way, it's kind of cool. Also kind of funny that they don't own Navarra. They own everything around Navarra, and then, you know, a ton of Iberia. Alba over here, the White North, looking pretty good in Scotland. And Wallachia hovering around 9,000 troops now is actually very impressive. Oh, man's hanging in there, I guess. He's doing okay. Though I'm curious how many popes died of the plague, because I'm sure it was quite a few. 24 popes died of the plague. 24. That's pretty good. The Saracens, not to be confused with the Seleucids, looking pretty good. 5,000 troops over here. A pretty cool flag, in my opinion. The Spirit of the Fox grants us victory. Very nice. How about Yukok? Meekok? No, Yukok. Snake Estonia is not real. It can't hurt you. It also can't cross over into Sweden. Except for this time, I guess. And how about Zaporizhia? That's pretty cool. I like that. I feel like if it's Zaporozhia, it should be based like kind of over here. Speaking of sad, Wallachia has been cut in half by Pannonia, though I reckon it's probably mostly due to a succession crisis, if I had to guess. Shout out Bulgaria, having some land over here in the Caucasus, very nice to see, as well as Crimea. So there they go. And we now have a Mongolia that has formed. He doesn't have the bubonic plague. He's just a scaly leper who loves the marijuanas, but you know, what's wrong? Nothing wrong with that, you know? Not to be confused with the other Mongolia, the Mongol Empire. That's not here. Meanwhile, Scotland getting over here and getting at it on the Emerald Isle. We have Connacht here, solo, 1 province minor. I imagine they're going to get annexed here before too long. Poland not looking so good. Poland has fallen. And now the Estonians have almost 9,000 troops, so they have turned it around just a bit. The Russian Slavic religion Estonians. All right, Ghana's thriving down here. Love to see that. Guinea, Ghana, Akan. So a couple of major nations, 9,000 troops in a sub-Saharan country. I feel like that's pretty dang good. Italia has been very steady. They've lost a couple of provinces here to Sardinia and then gained a couple. So they're doing good considering the fact that they just split off of the HRE and managed to hold it down. I respect that because the HRE is definitely growing. They are definitely growing. They have all this land all the way here. They may even have like Budapest under their control, and looks like the Low Countries, and I think they even got a couple more provinces over here in Jutland. So HRE definitely coming out on top, I think. Not like Alba, who the leader had died there under suspicious circumstances apparently, and now we've got whatever this is Norwegian Ireland. Oh, so good. I love that. Oh, and it looks like they girl bossed a little too close to the sun here. We've got the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire fighting a very big rebellion. So it's just a claimant war, so we'll probably see borders staying roughly the same. And here we have it, Emperor Hildebert, the scaly lover's pox, but he is athletic, of the Holy Roman Empire. What a handsome lad he is. So we finished with a map that looks quite different from what you would come to expect 100 years in 967. Mongolia split into this Khanate here again. Zaporozhye conquered a bit of land over this way. Wallachia completely collapsed. Hate to see it. They were doing so good. Pannonia back from the ashes. The HRE definitely comes out on top, with Bavaria actually doing pretty good in their own regard, with Germany not doing so good, getting picked away slowly over time. Italia hung in there, and that's pretty cool. And it does look like the Christians and the Islamic nations over here in Iberia are still fighting it out. Italia did a little bit of African colonization early on. And aside from Ireland, this is just as bad as it is in 867. And over here, I think it's even worse. We've even got some Irish land over here. So shout out Norse Ireland, I suppose. Also shout out Lithuania, because I'm pretty sure Poland is completely gone. Estonia collapsed under its own weight, too overextended, and borders too snaky, I suppose. And the Byzantines keeping it real, holding it out. Santhos over here with over 9,000 troops, so good on them. We finished with the Slavic religion actually dominating most of the land over here, pushing all the way into central Germany, which I think is pretty typical. And then the Christians over here, the Mozarabics, I don't know if it's Christian or not specifically, but they're doing good over here. Catholic in the north and then Sunni in the south. Lots of Orthodox over here in southern Italy. Sardinia being Orthodox is kind of cool. And shout out the Nestorians over here in Baghdad. Love to see that. Also pretty cool to see lots of steppe Jews. The steppe Jews are definitely a thing in this time, not to be confused with the tunnel Jews. Those are in New York. Steppe Jews are over here in like Russia. I'm actually really surprised at how well the development map mode rebounded. We've got plenty of like 14, 15 dev provinces in the area, which is pretty good. I would say the average is like 4 or 5 in like the non-garbage land areas, and that's pretty good. Of course, the numbers are literally nothing compared to what they would be in a vanilla run. And I'm okay with that because the Black Death definitely had an impact, and that was really what this video was all about. If you enjoyed this video and you have a suggestion of something you'd like to see, especially in CK3, make sure you leave it in the comments down below because I'm very open to this and I would love to make more videos on non-EU4 content. CK3 is a really cool game and I'd love to make some fun stuff on it if you want to see it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it, and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because you're missing out on a ton of content if you're not already subscribed. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to let you know from the bottom of my heart that I appreciate you, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.
Special thanks to Kaiser Dar of Acadia, Sheol, Gammas23, Ian Powell, Cannon Fodder, Josh Kopczynski, Agent Rhino, Blonde Damon, Isaiah, Rover, Bubba J, Saronska, Ricardo, Cobalt, Rex, Nathan Albright, and many more.